Hello and a warm welcome to Art House. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Coming up on this episode of the show, the undiscovered have now been discovered by this gallery in Lagos as they display the works of art that make them stand out. To another group show, which is part of a female mentorship program to encourage young artists on the continent. So it's all about group shows on this episode of the program. A warm welcome once again. We'll have details in a moment. Join us again.
When my paintings refuse to cooperate and talk to me, I make them face the wall for as long as possible.
Undiscovered is a group exhibition by several artists at the Thought Pyramid Art Center in Lagos.
The banner displays the 5 faces that have now moved from obscurity to popularity in the art scene, as discovered by the Thought Pyramid Art Center in Lagos to explore uncharted artistic territories.
Undiscovered exhibition is a kind of exhibition that came up in an effort to showcase new voices. You know, because in the art universe, for example, especially in Lagos, you tend to see most of or some of the galleries exhibiting, you know, the same kind of work sometimes, the same kind of artists sometimes. So we wanted to bring together a group of artists that, you know, their works have not been everywhere. Their works are excellent, but they still haven't gotten that widespread acknowledgement that they should have. And we felt like, okay, Thought Pyramid Art Center can offer them, you know, that reach, that visibility. So we decided to come up with Undiscovered. And some of the artists are exhibiting in Lagos for the first time. Some of them are even exhibiting publicly for the first time. But then when you go around and you see the works, you can see a lot of innovation. You know, the works are unusual. They are not what we are used to seeing.
The 2 ladies and 3 gentlemen who were selected with the help of social media are as different as night and day in their subjects, approach, technique, and interpretations.
It's a way of discovering new artists, not like new artists, but some kind of artists and their specific style of art in the art industry. You know, we have so many artists, and this exhibition is particularly about speaking through Instagram mention. Unlike the normal exhibition, but this one was through Instagram mentioned, and I happen to be one of the artists picked out. So, and these are some of my works here that I'm exhibiting. I have the one I titled Gilles. I have the one of Angela. I have the one for Retro. For the Gilles, it's actually talking about the innocence of the girl child. Looking at her hair, facial expression, her eyes, everything about her, it shows innocence. And for the Angela, it's actually talking about God's wealth, like we are supposed to enjoy God's wealth, not coming to the world and suffer. And for the one I titled Retro, it's a retrospect back to the olden days, and a kind of, you have the disc on it. And some of these generations don't know about it. So I brought it back to my painting to showcase our rich African music lifestyle.
are about sisterhood, women empowerment, and feminism, because I come from a family dominated by women, and I have chosen to use my talent to, share how important women are in, not only in Nigeria, but also the world at large. I also use my talent to share memories that I have with my sisters, and just like what it is living in such environments that is dominated by women. Because I believe that in Nigeria, we don't really know how important women are. So I've chosen to use my works to, showcase how special we are and how important, and, just how unique every woman is.
My work mainly speak about the African prints, West African prints in West Africa. So I try to depict the African prints to tell the world that we have African prints that are beautiful. You can see my works are majorly talking about the African prints and vintage iconographies. They can take you way back, and you can see some icons that's on the works, which can give you memories that you've seen before and which you're going to see more often on my works.
My works are particularly based on being courageous. You just have to be courageous. You just have to be yourself. You just have to be bold. You don't have to doubt your capacity. You can do anything positive if you wish to. Because my works, you see, that mostly female. Actually, I'm not a feminist, or I don't do just females. I do both genders, because the society affects both genders. The struggle in the world, the death, everything affects both genders. But here we have female genders, because specifically this is concerning the female. They have to grow from certain stage and they have to become something. But the female, they don't have enough opportunities to meet up. When they try to meet up, they see some circumstances and they pull back. But I'm trying to encourage them to see good in whatever they try to do.
Most of my inspirations are driven from my surroundings. Like I said, I'm from a family that is dominated by a lot of women, so I'm basically surrounded by inspiration every day. And most of my works are made on canvas with acrylic paint or oil paint. And sometimes I like to switch it up and, make them mixed media.
The gallery believes this show goes beyond revealing talents, but giving them an opportunity to shine by showing their dynamic skills for the world to view and appreciate.
We want the viewer to challenge themselves. Let us step away from the familiar. Let us step away from the known. We tend to celebrate more of the popular artists, the popular visual artists, and then there are so many other visual artists in the art industry whose works are phenomenal, and then we just have to showcase them. So we are challenging our viewers, open yourself to the possibilities of new artworks, open yourself to the possibilities of, uncharted artistic territories. And that is why we have decided to put together this exhibition, and I'm sure they will have a very unusual art experience, a very wonderful one.
naturally you think the pop art is in bright colors. Yeah, that's what everybody expects. But as an artist, I don't have to do the normal thing. I have to be different. That's why my palettes are muted palettes. Yeah, with conversational messages. You know, you don't have to see the bright colors and everything. Though some of them are bright, but you still see that it's not bright, like not the natural color from the tube. I include my white and black to it, my gray colors. In all my colors, there must be gray colors in it. So that's what I work acrylic on canvas. My technique, pop art.
Celebration of fresh artistic voices is something the Center has become renowned for, as it salutes the old and nurtures the new.
The message I'm really sending through my works is to depict more of Africa and African culture. I basically work with acrylic and oil, but because of the series I'm doing currently, I use acrylic and newsprints. That's what I use on my work because of the series and I'm working on. Because I easily pass a message with the female gender. That's how I easily pass my message through my painting using the female figures. What the viewer are going to get through this work is just the African movements, the African prints, the vintage iconography we have in our community, anywhere in Africa. I represent it on my painting.
Our wordsmith is titled A New Nigeria by Blessing Fadairo. The early years before her birth, a group of ebony, bronze and merchants entered the nakedness of our country. We were slaves to strangers. We were robbed. We were raped. Our glory was taken away. We fought. We also stood independently. We also won. We also received a garment of honor to restore our glory. But now we still cry. Corruption, bribery, bandits of the north, jihadists of the past still fight us. We are now made fun of. Is there still hope? I raise up the banner and say no. I still see a new Nigeria. The new Nigeria we fought for since we got liberty. A better people. A better nation, also with God the Creator and the blessed gift of our land.
Our wordsmith Blessing is just a teenager, and it's amazing to see such talent at such a young age. Well done. We'll enjoy more art when the program returns in a moment. Join us again.
These are the works we sent in this week. Tranquility and Regulation is an acrylic on canvas work by Samuel Taiwo. Ben Being a Mama, the third in the series, is done by Innocent Chikeze with acrylic on canvas. Artman has Lost in the Dark, done with oil on canvas. Then Inivora Pius has this acrylic on canvas work as well, called Hero Shed No Tears. It's from the Dear Father series. Then Mama Africa is a colored ball pen on cardboard piece by Holla Art. Gazing Through Ankara, the third in the series, is an oil and Ankara fabric on canvas work done by Bakari Abubakar Sadiq. Then Being a Woman is a mixed media on canvas work by Tomiwa Adelagun. Then we wrap things up with Mutual Respect, a digital painting by HG Studios, which concludes the works of art you sent in recently. We appreciate you for sending them in as always and encourage you to keep them coming.
Let's enjoy another group show. This one is titled First Step at the Art Pantheon Gallery, also in Lagos.
The African Female Artists Mentorship Program Cohort Exhibition, curated by Blessing Onyejike Ananaba, presents First Step, a group show that supports female creatives from the continent by giving them a platform to display their works of art and express themselves in a medium that speaks louder than words.
The exhibition is pretty much about allowing young women from across the African continent basically explore, art in their own way, to showcase the way they view the world, the way they view life through art, either paintings or through metallic work, and the rest of it. So that's pretty much what it is to allow them to express themselves in the way that they see life through through their artistic eye.
My work is simply about the story of grief and getting out of grief. So this is a story about a young woman who lost her husband just 16 months into marriage, and we're trying to tell her story. These pictures were taken when she just lost her husband, and then we're trying to tell the story of how she moved from a point of being in a very dark place to a point of being hopeful for whatever life has to offer. So from the pictures you can tell that the first picture she's in a lot of pain, and then in short we took the picture when she was crying. She was in a very vulnerable state. So there are quotes to show that no matter what you're going through, you can actually come out of it. And you can see that she's looking towards the light and she's being hopeful for what life has to offer. And she moved from that point to being prayerful and asking God to just help her through that pain, and got to a point where she's blooming even in the midst of being in so much pain. She's still coming out of life hopeful and getting to a point where she's happy.
14 mentees from several African countries discuss a myriad of issues through different medium of expression, be it photography, paintings done with oil, acrylic, or mixed media and other forms of expression.
Pictures, they always expect to look a certain way. Everybody wants to look the same way, and I feel we can all be ourselves. We can be unique and still be beautiful. So my pictures are showing the different way people can look and still be beautiful. This is her in herself, and this is her in her own self. This is her in her own self. Everyone is looking like themselves and also very beautiful and African too.
From the one I titled Void, that's the infancy stage. Then it is pale. There is nothing in their mind. You understand? So they don't think it's from that stage that the parents begin to groom them. It is what you put into them that they grow up with. So from there you grow to the youthful age, and the youthful you begin to fantasize what the youth is actually is.
My 4 images are titled Her Hair, Her Crown. Is a visual art letter to every woman, especially black women, who go through rigorous stress and stories and different changes in their hair journey. I, for one, these particular images are like a personal story about me, because starting this program, I had a really big natural hair.
I couldn't pack it, I couldn't tie it down. But then over the course of the program, I had to relax it and straighten it out because it was breaking. And even after doing that, it still kept on breaking, so I had to cut it. So right now, underneath this long wig is a low cut. This is basically my story. This is every woman's journey, most women's journey, because not everybody suffers hair loss. But then for people like us who go through this is just a pictorial reference of a woman's crown in her hair.
This show celebrates the power of young women to rise above any obstacles, especially when given the right environment and encouragement.
I have 4 works exhibited today. So I have these 2. They are a series called Natural Crown. So Natural Crown 1 and 2. Then the rest of the works, which are by the staircase, I have the Missing Link and I have the Portal to Heaven. So the Natural Crown 1 and 2 talks about our natural hair. You know, I see people everywhere, you know, black ladies trying to conform, trying to copy white people, you know, trying to be what they are not by putting relaxer on their hair, by using mechanical tools, you know, just so they can manage their hair in quotes. And those things are actually damaging the hair. This is like an awareness, you know.
My paintings are about fantasy. They're basically me trying to paint what happens in my head, the kind of daydreaming and everything that happens in my head. I try to paint them in my painting. I try to like show people like a different world in my painting, and I try to relate them to different circumstances. Like this work is shadow people. It's basically like having a conversation in my head, like creating characters, plots, everything. Like if you look at the work properly, you notice that the other people in the paintings, aside from the main characters, are not real people. So the title of the work is Shadow People, and that work over there is the mind as a place of escape. So that's like the work is like what my work is about. The mind as a place of escape. That's what all the works here are about. So it's like basically just staying on your own, being on your own, and creating, using your imagination as a way of escaping the world.
The Art Pantheon Gallery in Lagos hosted these unique African female voices for this debut exhibition pioneered by the Girl Child Foundation.
Interesting exhibition there. Now it's time to see what to expect on the next episode of Art House.
On Art House next week, Things Left Unsaid is a group exhibition at the Affinity Gallery in Lagos. In another part of Lagos, an exhibition of collage and mixed media work by Sylvester Aguda. We encourage you to keep liking, sharing, and viewing our page so more people can enjoy the ever bubbly and ingenious art scene in the country.
Your Art House experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Art House on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Art House on Channels. We're everywhere.
That's the program today. Thank you so much for being great company, and I look forward to interacting with you on our various social media platforms. I'm Melinda Akinlami, encouraging you to stay safe and keep that creative energy alive.